Okay, so um, hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is a pretty serious topic today. I wanted to make this video because, as I've been saying, if you follow me on Instagram, that I've been going through a lot of health things lately. And so I wanted to make this video just for people to kind of understand me a little bit better and like what I've been going through. And also I wanted to make it because if it can help anybody else who may be in a similar situation, or just so people can just be in tune with their health and recognize when their body is going through something. And also I think that when with like social media and everything, we can kind of get in the habit of making life seem like everything is so great, and it is really a facade because everybody is dealing with something behind closed doors. So I just don't ever want to come across as like this perfect person that has everything together. Like, everybody is dealing with like real stuff. I just like to be transparent. So I just kind of wanted to make this video, especially for my friends and family who I haven't really been in contact with. I just want to tell you guys like what I've been going through and what I'm still currently going through. So I'm gonna try to keep this video short and sweet because it's been so much going on. There's so many details and so many things I could talk about. And I could go on for hours and hours and hours because it's just been a very long year and a half, and I'm still going through the process because I'm still like navigating this whole thing. So I'll just start from the beginning. And if I look at the camera weird, it's because I don't have my contacts or my glasses on, because my glasses were like making this weird glare in the camera. So I'm like kind of blind right now. So I'll just start from the beginning. Last year, so it's 2019 now, everything started kind of like January 2018. Just a long time to not be feeling well. I got a stomach virus, just like a regular 3-day virus, except for my virus felt like it lasted for weeks. I was going through the weeks and I was still like throwing up, and it would be very random. Like I would wake up and I would just throw up and just be sick to my stomach, and I just felt really weird and really tired. And like I told you guys, like I'm a full-time nurse. I work in the NICU and I work night shift, so I'm an unusual person when it comes to being tired anyway, because I sleep during the day. So I think during that time period I was just thinking it was work. Like I'm just super tired. I had just come back from seeing Darius, and this is when we were living apart, and so I thought, I was just drained from this trip, and then I got sick, and it's all hitting me at one time, and I went right back to work. But then another week went by and I was still just randomly throwing up and just still super tired, super lethargic. So I went to my primary care doctor. She took some labs and she was like, oh, everything seems fine. It's probably just like what you said it is. So just get some rest, stay up on fluids. And that was pretty much my first mistake, because I didn't ask to see my labs. I didn't really push for anything because I didn't think it was going to be anything serious. I did notice I was so tired, and it was the tiredness that wasn't like normal. Like I was just so like, I felt drained and just exhausted, but I was still pushing myself, like still kind of ignoring, like, oh, I'm just tired today, like whatever. I lost a lot of weight. I woke up one day, I'm normally like 135 to 138. Like that's like my normal weight. I've been that way for a few years. I woke up one day and I was 125 pounds. And I weigh myself kind of often because I was, I have a personal trainer. I work out 2 times a week with my personal trainer, and I would go to the gym on my own. So I like would weigh myself a lot. I was just like, dang, that's a sharp drop, like 10 pounds. I didn't even do anything. I was still eating like my regular diet. Of course I was throwing up, but I don't feel like I was throwing up to lose 10 pounds. So that was like the first major thing that kind of had me nervous, and I still was going through the motions, kind of sort of ignoring it. I didn't go to the doctor at that time period. So now we're moving on to like going through February. And then I started getting these really bad migraines to a point where I couldn't get out of bed. Like I was still super exhausted. And I just felt weak, like I didn't have energy. And so I started like calling out of work because I just couldn't get up. I just couldn't get out of bed. And I just kept saying like, I'm so tired, I'm so tired. And then my mom, she noticed that I would say I'm tired a lot, and she brought it to my attention. She was just like, you're just always tired. You're just falling asleep at random. Like, you don't think you should get checked out. I was like, I don't know. So one day, and it was March 18th, I remember 2018, literally it took me 2 hours to get out of the bed. I could not move. I just felt so like it was the lowest of the low. I was just so energyless, like I just couldn't get out of the bed. Like, and I really needed to eat. It had been a long time since I had eaten, and so I was like trying to peel myself out of the bed, and making it to the bathroom, I was like throwing up everywhere. And then I got to the point where I just couldn't move. Like, I just couldn't lift my head. I couldn't do anything. And luckily at this time I was staying with my parents, and my dad was home, and I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And my dad was like, I think you should go to the hospital. So I went to the emergency room. And also like my heart was beating so fast. Like I felt like I had ran a marathon. Like this, I was just so exhausted, but my heart was just like. And so I get to the emergency room, and the lady was like, are you nervous? Like, did you just take something? And I was like, no. And she was like, your heart is beating really, really fast. And so they take me back. They do like EKG, they took labs, and they also did a CT scan. And so they weren't like really finding anything, but and so this doctor comes by, and he was like, yeah, it's just, the symptoms aren't really adding up. And then he looks at me, and he was like, how long has your neck looked like that? And I was like, my neck. And I was like, what does it look like? He was like, you have like a lump on your neck. And so I was like, I don't look at my neck, so I don't know what it is. And he was like, let me get some more labs. And they also told me my calcium was like through the roof. They kept asking like, do you take calcium supplements? Like, do you eat a lot of stuff with calcium in it? And I'm like, no. I don't really pay attention to calcium. So he comes back, and he was like, I figured you have hyperthyroid with a goiter. And a goiter is just an enlarged thyroid. And for those of you that don't know what the thyroid is, a smooth Google will do you justice. But it's just a butterfly shaped organ that's at the front of your trachea. It sits right here, and mine is not really that large, I can't see, but right here, and it regulates like your hormones and your metabolism. So that's just like a little quick rundown of what it is. And so he was like, luckily you're not in thyroid storm, which is when you have extremely high thyroid, and it starts to like affect multiple organs, and that's the only thing that they can treat in the hospital. I got referred to an endocrinologist. I had to go through like a series of tests. When I met, I think I saw the endocrinologist probably like a couple of days later, and she was saying that I possibly had Graves' disease, which is just the immune system attacking the thyroid. That's pretty much what Graves' disease is. But in order to diagnose, I had to get like a series of tests, which that stretched out over a month and a half to finally get the diagnosis from that date. It took a month and a half. And so that whole time period, I was still sick. I was losing a lot of weight. I was just super tired, super anxious during that time period. So I decided I took time off work. I got started on the medication that they use to treat it. I had gotten all the way down to 98 pounds during that time period. So I wasn't taking any pictures or doing anything. I really wasn't leaving the house because I just looked like a totally different person. And I'll share pictures of what I looked like. I only have a few because I was just so depressed about how I looked, and I just didn't want anybody to see me during that time period. I was really small, and it was super scary. Like, it was, if I didn't have the people around me during that time period, I honestly don't know how I would have navigated that whole thing. Like, I think the scariest part was that I just didn't know what was going to happen next. And it was just way more serious than I thought it was. I never thought I would have anything So just to have that condition and knowing that it was going to be a lifelong thing, it was just super scary. There's different ways to treat it. I didn't like any of the treatment other than the medication, so that was what I chose to be on, and it worked. I was able to take the medication, and then what they have you do is you come in every couple weeks and you get labs, and they try to get you down to the lowest dose, and they try to achieve what they call remission. That's what I was working towards for a long time. And it's so many ups and downs to it. I don't want to get too far into details. I was able to wean down up until April of this year. I got down to the lowest dose. I had started back feeling like my normal self. I was still going hard in the gym. I had gained my weight back. I was back to the 130s, 140s, and I was building muscle. I was out here minding my business, and so I kind of started to feel like I had got a hold of things. I mean, I still have my days. I have my days where things are challenging. It's hard. Days where I would just be tired, but it wasn't as much as it was a year before. And so I'm kind of trying to treat myself naturally as well. I adopted an anti-inflammatory diet, and it definitely helped me. I felt really good. So I kind of felt like I didn't need to go to the doctor as often. And then I had done a couple of things. I think I just canceled my appointments, and I just wouldn't reschedule them because my schedule was just so crazy. And kind of got lazy with getting labs drawn, and I didn't put myself in this position, but it definitely would have helped to see what my labs were during that time period where I felt okay. So we fast forward to September of this year. Things kind of just hit the fan. I feel like life gave me the sourest lemon it could find. Went to the doctor. I woke up, I was in extreme pain just randomly one day. Went to the doctor, and they told me that I had some type of infection. They gave me an antibiotic, which was a big mistake because whatever antibiotic they gave me set my body on fire. 3 days later, I was taking the antibiotic. I go back to the doctor. I had to go see my endocrinologist because I thought maybe whatever process I was going to, I'm just always checking with my endocrinologist to make sure that my thyroid is okay. I get my labs drawn, and I was just telling her I didn't feel well, and she thought maybe it was a separate issue, but just to make sure. So the next day she calls me and she was like, don't take any more of the thyroid medication, stop immediately. And it just scared me because I didn't know what. She was like, your liver enzymes are so high. And so this just, to make a long story short, started a cascade of a series of doctor's appointments and getting labs drawn and getting tests done just to try to figure out what happened. All the while, I'm not feeling well. I'm super weak. I started having pain in my liver, and it was just horrible. I couldn't go to work. I missed a lot of days, and I was just praying to God somebody could just figure out what was wrong with me. And so finally, after an ER trip and all of these freaking appointments, I get to a liver specialist, and they tell me they need to do a liver biopsy. So that was one procedure that I had done where they just take some of your liver tissue out, and they examine it to figure out what's wrong. And that's how I got diagnosed with autoimmune hepatitis. And my inflammation was severe. My liver enzymes were in the thousands. And so everything was just happening so quickly. I really didn't have time to react or be sad about it. I just kind of wanted to know what is wrong with my body, because I'm just in so much pain. So after I got that diagnosis, I got started on medication, of course, and the medication that they put you on is the worst. It's literally prednisone. Steroids are horrible. And the other day I woke up and my face was swollen. You can still see my face is swollen. I look a little different. I'm so used to being able to cut out my cheekbones, and I woke up and everything was just puffy, and I still feel horrible. They're still trying to work out a treatment plan. And autoimmune hepatitis is basically just like Graves' disease. It's just the immune system, it's a reaction, just decided to attack the liver. and cause like inflammation. Hepatitis just means inflammation in the liver. It's really, really rare. So the doctor was like super shocked that I had it, but having these two is rare. So it's been having doctors communicate and try to figure out a treatment plan that's for me. So later this year, I'm gonna have my thyroid taken out. So I'm gonna have surgery in like 6 weeks. It's pretty much like choosing the lesser of the two evils. And that's just pretty much where I am with everything. It is difficult. Like I feel like I had like a hold on things with the Graves' disease, but this autoimmune hepatitis is so like new, and I've been researching it and trying to figure out things that I can do to make my life better, like things that I can eat. And it's been rough just navigating through the tiredness, pretty much. And I wish I can't make people understand it, but it just drains you so much. I definitely have gotten better since I've been on the meds, but it is not an easy process. I just wanted to put it out there because I feel like I haven't been the best friend or family member because I've just been going through so much. I know some people kind of feel excluded, or like I don't want anybody to feel like pushed out, because it's not tough for me to talk about it, but it's hard for me to. I don't want to be a burden to nobody else. I'm already getting emotional. I just hate to feel like I'm a burden to anybody, you know. I just hate to feel like I'm, you know, I don't want to put anything on anybody else. Like, it's already enough for me to deal with, so I just don't like to put that on anybody else. But I thank God that I'm still here, and I thank God that I have like good people around me, especially my mom. My God, I don't know how I would have made it through some of those days without my mom. And Darius, I'm so thankful he's here now. And my friends that have rallied around me, that have seen me on my worst days, thank God for them. It's been a crazy time period. Like, there's been so many times this past year, and I'm not even exaggerating. There was one time, I go back to one night, I was laying in my bed, my heart was beating so freaking fast. I thought, and I like was having shortness of breath because my thyroid was so swollen. I thought, like, if I close my eyes tonight, I don't know if I'm gonna wake up in the morning. Like, that's how bad it had gotten. Like, I didn't know if I was gonna be alive. All in all, I just want to say, take care of yourself. Listen to your body. If something is off, if you feel weird, it definitely doesn't hurt to always just go to the doctor. You should go to the doctor anyway to get like a checkup. But if you feel weird, go to the doctor. And for all of my minority people, if you go to the doctor, make sure you take somebody with you. Because when I tell you, it is a difference in care, especially for Black people and especially for Black women. They like to feel like we don't feel any pain and that we exaggerate our symptoms. Don't be scared to question your doctor. I went to so many doctors, and I am lucky to be a nurse and to be able to recognize when something is BS, when something just doesn't seem right, when a test just doesn't fit like what I'm lucky enough to be able to recognize when to question those things. It's even scary for me because I'm a neonatal nurse, so I don't really know a lot. I don't do adults, so some stuff is new to me, but I know I can look stuff up and I could be like, what are we doing there? I don't really agree. And don't take everything for face value. Sometimes these doctors will tell you anything. Like, a lot of people don't. They hold doctors to such a high standard. I'm not trying to say all doctors are like this, but it's just like they're people too, and they often make mistakes. I mean, even the doctor who prescribed me that antibiotic, my liver specialist told me that if she had looked at my labs and she had read my history well enough, she would have known not to prescribe it. I say it's like her fault that I'm in the situation, but something would have brought that the autoimmune hepatitis out at some point. But doctors definitely do make mistakes sometimes, so definitely always, if it's something major, get a second opinion. Do your research. They tell you not to Google, but definitely go through and thoroughly look through anything that your doctor says is major, especially if they want to make any changes to your body. Make sure you are questioning everything. And for Black women, like, definitely always go to the doctor with somebody. I had a doctor who told me one time that she was not going to give me sign my FMLA because she did not want to give me a random day off work, and I was in like excruciating pain. So needless to say, I don't go see her anymore, but that was what somebody said to me, as if I just walked in there and was like not ever a patient there. So it is definitely a different experience. Just make sure you take care of yourself, you guys. Like, really, and check on your friends that who have health issues or who are considered like your really strong friends. Like, a lot of people consider me the friend like to lean on, but honestly, y'all, I'm just in that season where I need to lean on somebody else. Like, it can get really rough. I hope that this helps a lot of people understand what I'm going through. I will make another video. I will follow up with this video before the surgery, maybe. If anybody has any questions or anything, feel free to ask. I also want to hear about you guys' health journey. Like, is anybody else dealing with anything? Like, if you want to like just DM me on Instagram. It doesn't have to be in the comments, but if you want to share your story in the comments, if you know somebody who has Graves' disease, dealt with it, I would like to hear that too, because there's a lot of stuff that I wish I knew going into it, and I could go through like all of the logistics. I can make another video. Any of you guys want to know more about it, I'm definitely open to sharing it. But I appreciate everybody who's checked on me, who's just been there for me in this time period. I appreciate everybody. Y'all are super nice. I thank God for my support system, everybody who has like walked me through this process. Thank God for you. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.